Yes, and
it
how?
Was all very factual.
So you agree with all the detail that she gave to the Times?
Yeah, there was nothing that I disagreed with. I think it was a pretty good story, pretty accurate.
Okay. What's your plan right now, Martin? Do you plan to be in touch more with her mother or with the British tourist?
Well, I'm going to try and help as much as I can. If anybody if anybody thinks that I can help them in any way, like if her mum says, can you do this, it might help, then of course I will do it. But the whole story is I find it quite annoying because I tried to deal with it when it happened, but no one wanted to deal with it, no one wanted to talk about it, no one wanted to make it better. Mm-hmm. And now that 2 months later, when I've sort of pushed it past me, like I've gotten past it, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to talk about it and ask me about it and stuff, and it's why I'm not gonna make loads of noise about it. But if people need my help, I'll definitely help them.
Mm-hmm. The situation of that night must be crucial for further investigation, especially when you notice that perhaps you were passed out, being drugged or something. So this is quite crucial and it has to be investigated further. What's the situation? Yeah. What the real situation was?
Yeah, exactly.
But when you woke up, you were not injured. Your physical situation was fine.
Yeah, I was completely fine. My wallet had been taken, but that's it. I still have my phone. They didn't take my phone. They only took my wallet. I was fine. I don't think I'd been moved or touched or anything. I was just lying down on the beach, very peaceful.
That night, I'm wondering whether other of your friends were try looking for you and the British tourist after you left the hostel, or they just presume that you must have got back to the hostel?
Yeah, I think they just presumed that we must have gotten back because we told them we were going to go back to the hostel and then we left. And so they probably just thought, why would they go and look for us? Maybe once they got back to the hostel and we weren't there, that's when they would have gotten worried. But I think that we arrived back pretty soon after they did. So there wasn't time to come look for us.
The next morning, when you went to Koh Phangan to file the case to the Thai police, they only accept the cases of stolen, not the rape case.
Yeah, that's true.
And after that, did you try to convince the British tourist to come back to Koh Tao to file the case to the Koh Tao police?
Yeah, I did believe that it would be better if she was there in terms of filing the report, but in terms of like her mental health and in terms of her well-being, it's definitely better for her to go home. She had to go home because she was feeling very upset. She couldn't go back to the island where it happened. It would have been very upsetting for her, very difficult for her. So I couldn't force her to come back, but I did think that it would be better. But I didn't really push it because it's quite unfair to push that, I think.
So it must be 26th when you met the police, 26th of June or 27th of June when you met the police at Koh Phangan. On 27th. And did you?
I think it was 27th.
And did you yourself came back to Koh Tao after that?
Mm-hmm. I came back alone on the 2nd of July or 3rd of July. I came back on my own.
And did you meet any police on the 2nd or 3rd of July?
Not really. I remember the hostel owner of the Hive drove me to the police station. And we stood outside the station and she talked to the police officer, and she said that there was no CCTV from the night, that we couldn't check or anything, and because Izzy wasn't there, we couldn't file a report. And so we left the police station and went back to the Hive.
Did you try to go back to Fishbowl Bar to see the situation, to see the location there? How was it?
Yeah, I did go back. I went back with a friend of mine who was still on the island, and it felt quite weird to be back. I didn't really like it. It felt quite uneasy, quite weird, and something wasn't right. And I walked back on the beach to the place where I'd woken up, and again, it was really weird to see it. But I didn't remember anything particular or special when I walked past. It didn't jog any memories.
That night when you woke up, you said you were on the beach, but according to the information by the police, they said the beach was flooded by the tide, so nobody probably could be there during that time.
I find that hard to believe because I fell asleep on the beach and I woke up on the beach 4 hours later, and I wasn't wet. I was completely dry. I'd been on the beach the whole time, or at least I'd been asleep and I woke up and fell asleep at the same place. So I'm guessing that I was in the same place for the whole time. But I mean, I was asleep, so maybe someone dragged me away from the high tide and put me back on the high tide when the tide went back down. But I don't think so. I think there was just dry beach because I was dry. The sand was dry as I remember it. I didn't wake up with water over my face or anything. You know, I'd been there all morning.
Someone tried to say that there is the process that would like to damage the image of Koh Tao Island because of this. What would be your reaction?
Well, I really have no reason to damage the reputation of Koh Tao. I would have always recommended my friends go to the Hive. That is until I found out that like they were saying fake things about the story in order to protect their reputation. But you know, I still love the island. I really enjoyed my time there. I think it's a beautiful place. But I don't think that just because it's a really nice island, like you should ignore all the problems on it. You still have to deal with the crime if it's there. I have no reason to attack Koh Tao. I have no reason to attack Thailand. I have no reason to try and, you know, rubbish this place. I really like it. I definitely want to come back. But I think that people are scared that this story will damage the reputation. But the only way that this story will damage the reputation of the island is if it's not dealt with in a good way. If bad things keep happening and then nothing happens about them, or they're covered up, or, you know, like the wrong people are convicted, that sort of thing, then of course the island will gain a bad reputation. But if the crime is dealt with well and efficiently, then there's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Yes. Thank you very much, Martin, for telling me again to recount the story, what happened on that night, the next morning, and what you try to do, what you try to tell the police. And this case is still being investigated on the Thai side, and we still have to see what will be the development of the whole situation.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
Okay, so take good care, and thank you very much again for telling me and telling the Thai audience your side of the story.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I'll say goodbye for now and I will translate for Thai audience. Thank you very much.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. เอาละค่ะสัมภาษณ์